Hello everybody, how are you? Friday. Congratulations, you made it again through another week. Unless you're a champion. Champions keep going. Saturday, Sunday, non-stop. August 28th, it's supposed to go up to like 83, probably close to that right now. It is kind of humid out here, not a lot of sun, cloud cover. But it's not supposed to rain, so good for me. Good for me. So what happened to the live stream? Good question. I'm trying to live stream every day. I don't know. I'm not a tech expert. I kind of know. I know a bit just because I've been around tech for so long. But I've been having trouble with my phone. Now the phone might be just getting old, and I use it. You know, there's no appliance or. Well, I guess my computer. Other than my computer, I don't think there's anything I've used 24 hours a day like I do my phone. And really hard, like lots and lots of uploading of videos, like, oh, I don't know, let's see, probably 50 to 100 gig a month, like a lot. And you know, then everything else you use your phone for, music, etc. So it's probably just getting worn down, I think. Because, well, the other thing too is I have T-Mobile, and I'm not exactly sure. Actually, I looked this up. I was so frustrated. Is T-Mobile not very good in this city, maybe? And they said it's a lot better than it used to be. I don't know if that's the best endorsement, but like if I go over that way, see, like probably not that far, signal has just disappeared. I'm like, this is a very popular place to live. This is not like a side street. I can't imagine that a major mobile phone company has that many dead spots. So it might be my phone. But I was out on the west side where they said T-Mobile's pretty strong. I was out there yesterday and I was having problems with it. So I think it's the phone actually, but it's a good phone. LG 7. I've had it for it's probably time for a new phone, I think. You know, I age them so fast because I use them. And that includes dropping them, and, you know. But it was a pretty good phone. People say Android sucks, and a lot of ways it does, but I've just been on Android since the beginning, and problem I had with Apple in the very early on was the closed garden, the walled garden. I didn't want to be constrained, and that's actually what makes Apple good, is that it's got so much control on its products. They don't let anybody pass. They don't just let anybody inside past the velvet rope. It's probably the way to do it, but I kind of like the options and flexibility of Android. But on the flip side, what you run into is the things break down because they're not they're all Android compatible, but sometimes they don't play with themselves well. So there could be something going on with my phone. But anyway, the last few days I've had problems getting reception, and I tried to do the live stream this morning on Twitch. My phone's like, no. You ever been on a date where they're just like, no. That's the way it was. That's the way it was on the live stream. No. Okay, let's reboot. No. Okay, let's dump out of Twitch and start it again. No. Like nothing was working. It's kind of frustrating because it's so easy. I just record it to Twitch and then just export it from there to YouTube or wherever else. And I would like to keep those recordings on Twitch to build up well, just to have the backup actually, but it'd be also nice to have a library. The other thing I want to do, if I can remember, I always have so many things to do that I don't do this, but just go other parts of town, go to some walking trails, I've done this on my bike quite a bit around here, but just for some change of scenery. Add a little variety, and also to give me a chance to get some stock footage going, or at least some generic footage that I could use in various videos that is not live streamed. Live streaming, the quality is just not very good in terms of using it for other purposes, the video. So here I tend to go down the same streets, partly because of the reception, the spotty reception on T-Mobile. Again, it could be my phone, but I don't know. The problem is I'm paying $300 a month for cell service, for phone service. I mean, that's a lot. I think I would fall into the premier customer category. Should be in the VIP section of the club, getting free bottles, paying that much money. But I upload a lot. And partly because I shifted. What I used to do was record a video. Well, actually, I do it the other way. I would write an article, then record a video, then split off the podcast. Well, edit the video, of course. But I decided to rework the workflow, to start with video and then take everything from there. Because the actual writing, like let's say the typing, the need to type it out, that was really slowing me down. Now it probably had, in a lot of ways, probably had better material from having to write it out, but it was slowing me down. And it was also, it was kind of, it was a little bit stagnant. Didn't have a lot of movement and energy that I prefer. And also, and in some ways, spontaneity and ideation, Whereas if I sit down and improv off the top of my head, it's not as structured. It can go off on these weird tangents that don't make sense. It can be hard to tie to the overall theme. But there is also more energy, so I guess it's the balance. But so I record the video and edit it down. Try to get rid of as much as that try to edit it down as best as possible. Then, because now all you have to do is take the audio and you have your article. You don't have to write it. You don't have to actually type anything, right? In fact, the AI is getting so good. Like if you want some good transcription service, go to otter.ai, OTTER.ai. It's really good. You're gonna have to do probably 10% corrections, I'm guessing. So it's not completely labor-free. But why would I type anything if I can just have the AI do it, And that's the point we're getting to, is that the audio transcription off of a video or off of an audio is getting really, really good. And so there you go. And what it's done is this whole process of shifting to video first has increased my output probably, I'd say, at least 100, at least 2 times, and probably closer to 4 times the productivity. Now what's slowing me down, honestly, is having too much material. There's so much material, I feel like I'm not getting, I can't post it all to social media, So now I have to rethink that strategy, actually. Because and I'm producing so much that I don't know, I forget where, like, what am I working on? Like, what's, and I think, oh, it's XYZ. And then I realized that was 4 days ago. And I've done, 3 days worth of videos since then. But there's just so much, you just don't remember, I actually have to look at my phone, because I'll move it over to my phone so I can upload it easier. And like to Instagram or whatever. And I'm like, wow, look at all this stuff, you know. It's and so yeah. So if I get to the point where I can profitably hire an editor and then somebody to manage the artificial intelligence. Whoa! Because I can produce, I can create very, very quickly. And there's so many things I want to talk about. So, the socially acceptable excuse for day drinking. It's the word brunch. They always have kind of a funny sign right there at that place. Yeah, I can generate material really fast. And partly that came from doing it, I was forced to do that when I was driving across the country. I wanted to continue to produce material, so I would do it in the car on the fly. And just off the top of my head, which admittedly created some junk. I'd record it in the car with no editing, like one take, and then I'd upload it when I was at the gym. Like, instead of being out here walking, I'd go to the gym and do it. And while I was on the treadmill, I'd upload all these videos using the Wi-Fi, the high-speed Wi-Fi at the gym. So someday, there's a few days in there I was producing, 10 videos a day. Well, the reason being, you're not worried about the quality, you're not worried about the editing. You just come up with the idea, you record it, and you upload it. So the cost of that is pretty high, actually, because the algorithm is geared toward, I'm talking about specifically YouTube, but also you could say TikTok and well, I'd say almost any platform algorithm, Twitter, for example. If it's not very good, if you're just uploading one shots with no editing and it's not that high a quality, like there might be some brilliance in there, but let's say the quality varies. Let's say the quality varies. I think you get some inertia in the channel, because now the algorithm says, okay, in the last 28 days they uploaded, let's say 100 videos, and X percent just kind of died. They didn't. Well, then it makes it harder for every video after that. But what they're doing is, well, really, all the algorithm at the end of the day is trying to do is give people what they want. So you upload it, they send it out to, let's say, 300 people. They see how it does. Then, if it does well, they send it out to 3,000 people. If it does well there, they send it out to 10,000. Right? That's why YouTube especially recommends you stay in a niche, because, or a niche, however you say it, and you'll have more domain expertise, and the chances of that the audience will be very defined, so they can sell the advertising more conveniently and efficiently. You know, if you have a tech channel, well, then that audience is pretty well defined. Whereas if you just have a kind of a random, you know, vlog, let's say, you know, it's not as defined an audience. But what uploading a lot does for you is it makes you really good at creation. Since you're working with speed, and you have to keep in mind the concept of money is attracted to speed. So if you're generating a lot of material without judging, this is where it kind of gets, people get bogged down. They're like, well, it's not good enough. Maybe, but we don't. There's been so many videos that I uploaded that people loved. And I was like, really? I barely even remember saying it, you know. But you know, so in other words, it's like a test market. You're kind of testing by creating, and then, you know, adjusting on the fly. So if one thing does well, then you do more of that thing, you know. And then the channel grows from there. And then there's really also just the thought that, you know, most people aren't making it a business anyway. They're just doing it for fun. So who really cares? Just do what you want. Create what you want, you know. You'd be surprised what'll come out of that. If you have a passion for something and you just do it because you like it, well, you might end up with a business. Now, of course, at a certain point, you have to make it a business and, you know, concentrate on profits and numbers, and it might take all the fun out of it, actually. Kind of happens to salespeople when they go into management sometimes. They say took all the fun out of sales when they went into management. I read this article about a woman who came to the United States from, I think, Scotland. And this is in, like, let's say the late 1800s, early 1900s. And she moved to Cambridge and got a job as a nanny for the one of the main astronomers at the Harvard astronomy department. So she started as his nanny, and over time he would give her, she was really smart and efficient, and so really helped him organize his home life and all that. And then over time he started giving her stuff related to his job in the astronomy department. And the telescope that they had, the surveying the heavens, mapping the heavens, and so she started getting really interested in it and kept getting more assignments of, you know, things to do in that capacity. Long story short, she ends up joining his staff. And at that time, women didn't have the same rights or expectations, you know, they were. But this particular professor believed in, he was a feminist basically. He believed in promoting women, helping them, you know, encouraging them, which was not always the case in, you know, 1905. You gotta stay home. So she was given more and more responsibilities, and a lot of, she became like a leading female astronomer, and potentially one of the most prominent female astronomers of the day. She started out as a nanny and didn't have any background in you know, astronomy. Just learned it on the job. But the moral of this story is they promoted her to supervise the other ladies that kind of mapped these stars on these plates. It's a whole thing, but they were, you know, keep in mind it was 1905, so they had some kind of primitive ways of recording galaxies and planets and all that stuff. Probably at the time very advanced, but there was a lot of labor. So these women would sit in this room and take these plates and you know, make measurements. They were taught how to make measurements of these. Basically, they look like, you know, little dots on this glass plate. But they were stars and planets that they had taken pictures of, and they were measuring, you know, gases and stuff like that, distances between planets and stars. There'd be like 10 ladies in a room, and she kind of supervised them. But as a result, there's a lot of, you know, breakthroughs or advances that this lady discovered and achieved. So they promoted her, and right away she said, "Yeah, it's not fun anymore." You know, because anybody that's worked anywhere where there's more than two people or more, which is just about most places, what sets in right away is politics, drama, human foibles, like, oh, I can't come in today, blah blah blah. So you have to shift. She had to shift to becoming a manager. Much like anything that you want to build into a business has to become a business, an actual business. And that's going to take away some of the fun. Now, there's some people that just love the boring parts of business, what a lot of people might consider the boring parts of a business. Some people love it. They love it. They love, you know, the drudgeries, the details. You know, they love the process of the. Whereas a lot of people might be like, oh my God, I got to do my taxes. Some people love that stuff. They love the numbers. They love the organization. They love the teamwork. They love being as part of a group. They love the, you know, seeing things happen. They love using their talents for detail and organization. But if you're going to build your channel to a certain size, you're going to have to incorporate those things: budgeting, accounting, profit, investment, marketing, advertising, public relations, promotion, customer service. It's not as fun anymore, right? What? I just want to make videos. I just want to make videos. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh. Guy was like, we got a live one here, we got a crazy one over here. Alright guys, I'm gonna call this a recording. Would love to have live streamed it for you, but my faithful LG7, one of the best phones I've ever had, seems to be failing me. Either that or T-Mobile. It's funny because I have two phones. The other one is not, you know, it's like a low-end Samsung Galaxy. It's working fine. Gets reception, but it's not very good at live streaming just because it doesn't have the horsepower really. But in terms of like yesterday, I was out running around and I was trying to pull up. You know, I haven't been back to Columbus in years to any. I still have to think where I'm going. Whereas when I lived here, you would just go because like any other location. If you know the area, you just go. But I always double check, you know, on my maps, on my Google Maps. I couldn't pull it up. I had to get to this other location. I'm like, I can't. What? And I had to search. I had to do a search for a certain type of store and then pull up the nearest. You know what I mean? Thankfully, I had my other phone. I was able to do it. But golly, come on, LG.